Yay, we're finally on our mat. So good to be here and standing here and not out there. So today's practice is fluid power. Fluid power, yeah? To be fluid is to be in touch with all the senses, nature, what's going on around you and inside of you. To be fluid, to go with a flow state, right, is to not be in the mind, but to be more in alignment with the body. And as the body starts to waken up, the mind starts to actually listen and temper and tame. And then the two align and it creates this fluid power, this sacred movement that makes sense, that gives you this feeling of uplift. So we will begin in standing, and standing is power. Yes, yes. And so first, your feet are hip distance apart. I want you to go forward and back into the ball, and then the heel, and the ball, and the heel. You're just feeling the center of where you are as you're being. You'll feel it in the pelvis, and a slight tuck of the pelvis. There we go. And then a slight little squeeze of the sit bones, and a squeeze of the upper part of your booty down towards your hamstrings. That makes sense. And then bringing your arms down by your sides, closing your eyes. And in this moment, my intention is to have fluid power in my days to come and in my day today. And that I am in sync and in alignment with my mind and my body so that I can move through life fluidly with grounding and centered power. On your inhale, take your arms to the sky and then just touch them here. And then when you exhale, just bring them right back down to your sides. We're going to do this 3 to 5 times. On your inhale, the arms lift up and you're stretching away from the ground. And as you exhale, you bring them back down. And I like to think of this movement as your auric field, your energy field. And we're so much more beyond just this arm field. We can be 8 feet, 10 feet. Some people in the room feel like they've taken up the whole room, right? And we're inviting this power into our body from source energy, from the universe, from nature, and from the collective conscious. From the collective beings out there that are also doing this same work. And then on your next exhale, just fold forward and let it all go and bend your knees. And I really love to feel that fold forward as a humble offering and a bowing down. And exposing the back side. You can bend your knees as much as you want. I just want you to relax the head and the neck. So you're really, this is a vulnerable place, but it's humbling and it's good. And you're fine because you're right here on your mat. And then on your next inhale, let's just step out into cat-cow, hands and knees. And just make big hip circles, as I like to do before I do any kind of movement. Get my synovial fluids moving. I'm going in the opposite direction. I'm just feeling that fluidness moving, and then maybe go forward and back. And you're moving the spine in one vertebra at a time. You can bend your elbows in this variation. You can sit the hips back towards your heels. Okay, and then slowly coming into downward dog, and that same kind of fluid action in downward dog. And just coming into the body, pedaling the feet, just noticing, taking notice of where you are. And there's no attachment to it. You know, it's like, yeah, the hamstrings feel a little bit different today, but that's okay. No attachment. And then slowly walking your hands back towards your feet and inhaling up the front body. Hands touch the body, awaken the body, arms to the sky. On your next inhale, just reach just a little bit more as you plant your feet, and then exhale down towards the center line, to the heart center. Anytime the hands come to the heart center, this is a great space for you to imprint or remember a mantra or a word or an affirmation here. Okay, so today I'm going to just add in fluid power. And drop the arms down as you inhale, lift up. As you exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, walk out to plank pose. Exhale, knees and the belly and the chest all the way down to the ground. Coming up into cobra pose, as you inhale, loop the shoulders back, squeeze elbows towards one another and towards the sky. Press the thighs down into the ground. Keep breathing, nice, slow, deep inhale and exhale. And on your next exhale, bring yourself all the way back to downward facing dog. Step the feet together at the back of the mat and sweep the right leg up. Then bend your knee and tuck the knee in towards you in a big hip circle out. And again, just moving the fluids through the hips. Any pops, nooks, or crannies that need some help, just letting that come in and out of the body. Go the opposite direction. And as you do this, stay firm and stable in the standing leg and in the arms and in the shoulder girdle. All right, let that leg extend and then bring it all the way through. Let's go to a low lunge first, because this is always an option in your practice. Always. When someone is up in a high lunge or you feel tired today, just stay to low lunge. Then sweep the arms up as you inhale. As you exhale, bring them back behind you in a big circle motion. Do this 2 more times. Inhale up and exhale back. And you're sweeping up fluidity and you're bringing down power. And then release. Bring the hands down, stepping back to plank pose. This is your offering of a push-up or chaturanga. And you can always use your knees. So going down, lifting up, roll your shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then back through downward facing dog. Other side, left leg lifts. Bend knee, big hip circles around, nice and slow. Okay, so it's not like this helicopter kind of a thing here, because the body's not quite ready for all that active motion. And when you feel like you're trying to push yourself into a faster motion, see where else that may end up for you in life, you know. Stretch it straight up and bring it on through. Low lunge, drop the knee. Plant the back foot. Arms circle forward, up and back. And it feels really nice. Let the upper spine slightly move if the chest needs to rise, and support this movement through the hips and the back leg. And then release. Plant hands, step back into plank pose. Okay, hip distance apart, holding everything still for 1 more breath, and then exhaling down through chaturanga. And finally, upward facing dog. So the knees are off the ground, thighs are off the ground, and then slowly pull back into downward facing dog. And then we'll step into the top of our mat and hip distance apart, exhaling, slowly fold forward, and inhaling up the front body, up the front of the belly, the head, the neck, and to the sky. When you exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. And again, release. Inhale the arms up once. Exhale, hands down center and fold. Inhale to halfway up. Exhale, step back into plank pose. Hold. I do not do jump backs. There's just too much pounding in the joints. I just like to step back. And then slowly release, knees, chest, chin. We're gonna do another variation of cobra here. So you're gonna loop your shoulders back, elbows point to the sky, and then I want you to release your hands off the ground. So they are working here, okay? And if you can't do that, you may need to think about coming back down here, letting the arms go out to the sides, palms up, pull the shoulders off the ground, squeeze everything together, and then lift your head up off the ground. And that might be a much easier place for you to do that. And then slowly release. And now come up into upward dog and feel a little bit more activity, engagement in the back body and behind the shoulder blades and away from the neck. And then pull back into downward dog. Step left foot to the center, right leg sweeps up. On your exhale, bring it through, and now into a high lunge variation of warrior one. Inhale the arms up. As you exhale, bring the arms back behind you and interlace. Okay, and then inhale, pull the arms back as your chest drives forward. And then when you exhale, soften. It's a pulsation here. When you inhale, make it big and vast. And when you exhale, soften the upper body. The last one, inhale, vast, expansive power. And then slowly release. Hands come down, step back, down to chaturanga or the cobra that we're integrating into our bodies. And then back through downward facing dog. Step right foot center. Left leg lifts. Nice smooth transition. Pull through. Warrior one, arms reach. And then as they come back together, knowing that this cinching of the hands, just like in prayer pose, it's back behind you now. And you're holding and using this space to find that power in your body. As you inhale, as you exhale, you soften. Inhale, broaden, squeezing the shoulder blades, pulling the left hip back. Soften, find the middle, slightly pulse down towards the ground. And the last one, inhale, open. And exhale, release, hands down, step back, move through chaturanga, what we like to call a vinyasa, just threading everything together and back through downward facing dog. And then stepping to the top of your mat, nice and slow, using your core to cultivate that strength to easily walk forward. And on an inhale, rising, flat back all the way up to the top, arms reach towards the sky. Inhale, big breath. Exhale, down center. Inhale, lift arms up. Exhale, down center, forward fold. Inhale to halfway up. Exhale, plant hands, step back. Come to plank pose, hold. We're doing a coiling action here. As you exhale, I want you to really round and gaze towards your navel, the inner thighs. And then when you are exhaling, stay. And then inhale, loop shoulder blades down your back, gaze forward. Exhale, round. Push the floor away vigorously, the chin tuck. And inhale back to a neutral spine. And one more time, exhale, rounding. So we're cultivating core power, shoulder strength, shoulder power here, stability in the arms. Now go ahead and to chaturanga and feel the difference of the shoulder blades squeezing towards each other. Feel the difference of the back body working just as equally as the front body. And then pull back in a downward facing dog. Step left foot to the center, right leg sweeps as you inhale. And it's this nice, beautiful, slow motion because you are inhaling and moving synchronicity and syncopation. Arms lift up as you inhale. And as you exhale, interlace the hands back behind you. Inhale to open the chest. Exhale, soften the pose, come deeper into a lunge. Inhale, broaden, pulse, squeeze the back left butt cheek. Exhale, drop the left knee down towards the ground, pulse through the right heel. Inhale, lift, open. Exhale, down, release the hands. Inhale, step back to plank pose. Exhale through vinyasa, chaturanga, or cobra. I'm pulling back to downward facing dog. Stepping right foot to center, sweep left leg up. Exhale, bring it on through. Same thing, other side. Soft bend in the bottom knee. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands back behind you, interlace. Okay, so right here, you're lining up, you're setting up yourself for broadening, expanding, opening. This is trust. This is trusting the universe. And then releasing, you soften it. You say, yeah, I give in, I got this. And as you're doing this, the legs are feeling this power. Yeah, they're buoyant, but they're holding you there. And open chest. Exhale, one more time. I know I held it. Last one, open. And release both hands. Stepping back, moving through vinyasa, chaturanga. Oh, upward dog, good stretch. And downward facing dog. Nice deep inhale, broaden through the back. Nice slow exhale out through the mouth. Stepping to the top of the mat. Inhaling halfway up and exhaling fold forward. Inhale, wide arms, bring everything to the sky. And exhale down center. Inhale, arms reach straight back up. Exhale down the center, forward fold. Inhaling halfway up, stay. Exhale, stay, soft bend in the knees. Take left hand to center, sweep and touch the right arm to your heart center. And on an inhale, sweep up towards the sky to your right. And as you exhale, come back to where you started. Bowing down to self. So when you inhale, taking that energy from the heart space and opening it out to the universe. And as you bring the hand back down, you're bringing it, the universal love, back to you. One more time, just like this. So you're out, you're giving, and you're in, you're receiving. Changing sides. Inhale, lifting, the legs stay strong, the hips are neutral, and then back down, softening the pose. Inhale and keep the legs strong, hips neutral, reach, gaze, and release back down, soften the bow, the heart. Last one, open, squeeze shoulder blades together, and soften and release. Finally, stepping back into plank pose. Okay, same coiling action. As you exhale, round towards your navel. Keep squeezing the glutes, the buttocks. And then release to neutral spine. Exhale, round. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, round. Inhale to neutral spine. Squeeze elbows, shoulders down the back. Come forward slightly into chaturanga. And press back up into upward facing dog. And downward facing dog we go. Woo! I know you're feeling some shoulder activity there. I'm definitely in. Bring the left foot to center. Now sweeping the right leg, now you got a little more control in the body, as if you were painting the back part of your practice. And then tucking the knee in, pull it through. And let's add on. So inhaling, arms up. Exhale, back to interlace. Inhale, open and broaden. Exhale, release the hands down. Okay, inhale, sweep the right leg up and change the foot pattern, left foot to the side and drop the right toes, follow the foot back. So you're pressing action of the hips up towards the sky. A lot of people call this rock star. It feels quite amazing when you get this down. And then release and bring the hand down, sweep this leg through and inside, and then pass it across your whole torso in the midline. So you're still on the edge of your right foot and hands are here. So we have an option to do a push-up or just a simple hold, okay? And then sweep it back up. You're in a three-legged down dog and release all the way down, knees, chest, chin to cobra. Inhaling up and exhaling back to downward facing dog. All right, so I'm gonna teach that again on the same leg. And then we'll do 2 on the other leg. So I want to teach you a little bit more of the function of how this works, how it breaks down. So sweeping right leg up, and then pulling through. Okay, and you're in a variation of a warrior 1 or a high lunge. Inhale the arms up. Exhale to interlace. Okay, so when you inhale here, you need all of this breath to take you to transition to the next move. Okay, so then when you exhale, soften. And inhale, again, sweep up, transition, so you're pivoting on the left foot. And then you drop the right one down. So this left, I'm just gonna come down onto the hip. This left foot is on the edge of the pinky toe. And this left arm and shoulder is in a half plank, yes? So when you push up from here, the ball of the foot rises up with you. So it gives you more leverage through the hips. Then you can style it. Then you can style this thing. All right, so you're constantly using the back body to support freedom and space in the front body. And then bring it back through. This knee comes in towards your navel and passes through the body. So you've got a 3-legged, or it's 4-legged, but it feels like this whole leg over here has got a mind of its own. And it's supposed to feel like that. The hip is opening, this IT band is like, woo, yes, baby, right? You feel that? And your core, holy core on the right side is like, yeah, it's engaged, it feels good. I made you hold that for a reason, so that you can do all of this with effortless movement. It's beautiful. And then go ahead for a push-up, and then press back up, and then suck this leg back in, as my teacher would say, suck it back in, lift it back up, feel the freedom and the new space and the power in your body, and then slowly return down to the earth. Oh, and relax for a moment. Just relax, let your hips move, let your mind take in all that new information that might have been a new style or transition for you. That's all good. That's what we're doing, is doing new things so that our mind expands and we continue to transform and evolve. So let's come up through upward facing dog and exhaling back to downward facing dog. I'm gonna come a little closer here. So right leg goes to center. Sweep left leg up. pull it through. Variation of warrior one. Arms sweep up. Exhale back behind you and interlace. Inhale to open. We're going to do this side 2 times. Don't worry. Then release. Bring both hands down. All right, here's the big move. Take the knee in. Transition. So see how I'm moving back through a variation of downward dog. Then I'm going to travel onto the outside pivot of my right foot and drop the left foot down. Okay, so this arm is still in a side plank variation. Now watch as I drive my hips towards the sky, the arch of the back, and now the whole back body is supporting a beautiful stretch in the front body. Yes. Okay, now how do we get back? We maneuver, lift this leg up, drop this left hand down, pull it in towards you, and pass it through. Okay, so most of you, maybe you're staying here. If you have a good push-up in your body, and you're gonna widen your arms slightly, go down, navigate, push back up. So when you push back up, it's so much core right here, yeah? And then bring this leg back in, sweep it back up to the gods, and then pull yourself back down, knees, chest, chin for an amen. Woo! Because I know it. This one always gets me, but it is literally, it's my favorite kind of movement to do. And once you get these fluid motions going on with the power and the strength that you're instilling, it's so powerful to know that you can do this. And lift up into upward dog. And then pull yourself back into downward dog. So when you find your power on your yoga mat, let's go ahead and sweep the left leg and try this again. And you find that you can be fluid and powerful on your yoga mat. Can't this translate to life? Arms back behind you, interlace. Inhale, sweep the chest up towards the sky. Keep squeezing your back butt cheek. And release. Plant hands. Bring this leg back. Slightly maneuvering into side plank pose with the variation of the leg coming down. Reach the arm up and let it just kind of drape over the head. Squeezing the glutes, letting the chest and the heart have a little space. And then slowly release. Come back. Drive the knee in towards you. Place it out. Either holding or a push-up. Okay, and then draw the knee back in towards your navel for power. Sweep it back up. And release, moving down through vinyasa or cobra. Inhaling up. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Just taking 3 long deep breaths here. Inhale, big breaths. Feel the broadening, widening of your lungs, rib cage. And when you exhale, feel the softening somewhere. Inhaling, feeling the receptivity of these movements you've done. And exhaling out anything that did not serve your movement. Because it's just a response. It's just something that's going on right now. Nothing's permanent. And walking your feet to the top of the mat. And inhaling the hands up the front of your mat. Always sky. And exhale down center. Wow, it's so good, right? So you feel this core cultivation, yeah? So I'm going to break down the core for side plank very easily. Right here. Under your forearms. And here's a rounding through the shoulders, right? I just want you to take your heels towards the left and come onto the edges of the feet. And the feet can relax however they are. I have a lot of flexibility in my ankles. So Not everyone does. Doesn't matter. You're able to come to the edges of your feet. Gaze towards your left hip. Feel that thing working, right? Squeeze your inner thighs and now gaze down towards the middle of your arms. Keep holding. This is that space that we're cultivating when you're in the middle of the yoga practice, fluidly moving through twists. Okay, come back up. If you need to, take a break through the arms and just relax, and then come meet me on the other side. So I'm swiveling, I'm holding, I'm squeezing. Lots of core. These are called the oblique muscles. And this is on the right side. I'm not dumping, none of this. Just keep pushing it away. And then slowly release and back to center and relax. Drop the knees. And push yourself back. Relax the head. Bring your hands back by your side. Relax the neck especially. Big inhale, broaden everything, even broaden the low back. Broaden through this space here. Breathe into this whole space here. And slowly release. Okay, and then just from where we are, go ahead and take your right leg forward. So we're going to go into a twist, and when you twist, I want you to remember that same action that you just did on the floor in your plank. Okay, so we'll take the left elbow across the right leg. Okay, make a fist because it's just easier for this demonstration. And take your right hand onto the right rib and maneuver and pull it and twist it open. It's just like a tissue pull, like your own assistant. And then place your top hand on top of the fist. Push down into the knee into the arm, and then see if you can get a little bit more rotation through your upper spine. Keep squeezing the left butt cheek. Squeezing the inner thighs towards one another. This is a big one. Okay, so you're not flopping all around. And then slowly release. And then stepping back through plank pose. Let's test it out. Go to side plank on your right side. Swivel the heels. Take the left arm up. And there you go. So that's part of that whole variation inside of a more structured, little bit more difficult sequence, but at least you can feel where you are right here. And then slowly release. Come back to hands and knees. Let your wrists have a little wrist therapy. Roll the joints around. And then we're going to go to the other side with your left knee forward. Okay, same cultivation of the side core. Lift the right arm up for length. Use the left hand to keep this left leg stable. And then twist just the upper body towards the left leg. Then land the arm outside of the left knee and press the arm into knee and knee into arm. Make a fist. Place the left hand on top. And then twist towards the ceiling. Squeeze your right butt cheek. Squeeze the midline. Everything's going towards the midline. You're not flopping over. Don't let that knee pop out. And then slowly release. And stepping back into plank pose. Holding plank, getting ready to set up for that left side plank. Swivel onto the outside edges of the left foot, inside edge of the right, and sweep the right arm up towards the sky. And here it is, right here. So you're not sinking into your shoulder. Shoulder blades are squeezing down your back. And you'll feel this buoyancy of going towards the sky as you press the floor away. And slowly release. And just push back into downward dog. Big breath in. Exhale out. Anytime you need to make a noise with your exhales, please do it. It's just like natural sigh, natural breath wave. And slowly walk your hands back towards your feet. And on your inhale, lift the hands just Follow your legs and lift them up towards the sky. And exhale down center. Okay, so that is all the little maneuvers, twisties, and turns that are required for this beautiful sequence that I love so much. So many people love to move like this, so hey, here we go. Let's put it into a full moving vinyasa, 5-10 minutes. And if you feel that you can launch off into a different avenue and different forms, go ahead and do that during this. Everyone has their own level of yoga. I would say this is intermediate to advanced, and you can take it off into arm balances, etc. So let's inhale, arms up. And exhale, send it down, forward fold. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, stepping back into plank. Inhale, hold. Exhale, chaturanga or cobra, and you will lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep right leg lifts. Exhale, pull it through. High lunge, arms sweep forward and up. Exhale, interlace. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, plant hands. Sweep the leg back, swivel on the back foot, land on the right. Lift up, catching up with breath, slowing it down. And on your next move, you're going to inhale and lift the leg up. When you exhale, plant it through here. A push-up, widen the arms, watch your shoulders and elbows, lift, and then bring the hand back onto the mat. Sweep the legs to the sky, and bring it all the way down through chaturanga or cobra. Inhale, lift, and exhale, downward facing dog. Other side, sweeping left leg lift, pulling through high lunge. Inhale, arms sweep up, gather the energy underneath the legs, the feet, interlace. Inhale, nice strong legs as the chest is free to open. Exhale, bring the hands down. Inhale, sweep the left leg up and around and drop it back behind you. And gently supporting this whole movement with the strength of your legs, your arms, your shoulders, and your back pressing to the sky. Slowly release. Exhale, pull through and land. Inhale to hold. Widen the arms. Exhale, down through, push up. Inhale, back up. And sweep the leg back up. Nice, strong right leg. On your next exhale, down through vinyasa or cobra. Inhaling up. And exhale, downward facing dog. And if you feel this wave motion still, like we started in the very beginning, you can undulate your downward dog. Continuing to bring in the subtle energy of fluid power, grace, and then slowly stepping to the top of your mat, feet hip distance. Inhaling the hands up towards the sky, and exhaling down center. Arms go straight up. Inhale. Nice long staff that you are, strong and tall. Exhale down center and surrender down to the earth, widening the back body. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, plant hands, stepping back, move through vinyasa, chaturanga, or cobra. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep right leg. Exhale, bring it on through high lunge. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, interlace. Squeeze inner thighs. Press back through the back left heel. Feel the energy of the right leg, the right thigh driving forward. Slowly release. Inhale, sweep this leg up. Pivot onto the left foot. Drop the right ball of the foot and open. Just opening this whole space. Let this arm rotate around if you like. That feels good. And navigating that you have this integrity and strength inside of you. Coil, bring the leg in, pass it through. Option to push up or coming into the side of the left foot and lift up into another variation of side plank. Okay? And make sure this leg's engaged. It's not just hanging out here. So I'm going to engage the quad. There we go. And you'll see the movement. My kneecap cannot move. And now this leg is turned on. And then slowly release. Pivot back onto the left of the ball of the foot. If you want from here, you can add a push-up. Press back up. Release. Inhale the right leg to the sky. And slowly move into vinyasa or cobra. Cobra feels a lot more natural here. Inhale in and exhaling downward facing dog. And other side, left leg lifts. As you inhale and exhale, pull it through. Setting up. Warrior one, variation, arms sweep up. And exhale. Keep driving the left knee forward as the right heel drives back, meeting it in the center, lifting up with power and grace through the chest. Slowly release, arms down. Sweep the left leg up towards the sky. Drop it back behind you, ball of the foot. Press the hips open. Use this line of strength in the back body to hold yourself up and drop this one back. And then release, pull it through, pivoting on the right foot. Left one comes through, dropping the edge of the right foot down and sweeping the right arm up. Engage the quad, because there's all kinds of variations you can do after you find where your defining moments are of strength and some limitations. And be honest with yourself. Pivot the back foot. Option to do a push-up or to stay. Option to do a push-up. Okay. And then release the left leg towards the sky. And slowly come on through vinyasa or cobra. And it feels so good to go down to the ground and inhaling up and exhaling downward facing dog. Nice big inhale here. Nice slow exhale here. Stepping to the top of your mat, feet hip distance, inhaling halfway. Just rubbing the calves and the shin. Exhale, fold, bend your knees. And inhaling up the front of the body. Arms into the sky. And exhaling down center line. It feels good to be here, just staying here for 3 long, authentic, deep breaths. Placing right hand at heart, left hand at belly. Feeling this pulsation. And there's like a slight wave that I get inside the spine and the hips and the body when I become aligned with the masculine and the feminine of movement, of my primal being, and where things need to take place and where I need to take them off and let it go. All right, so this last one we're gonna do on our own time. with the music. It'll be fluid and nice. I'm going to go with my own with not that many cues, just so we can have a nice fluid practice together. Yes? Okay. So here we go. Forward fold, drop it all. Drop it all. No outcomes, no perceived anything, no attachments. This is your dance, this is your trance, and your time to facilitate movement that feels good to you. Here we go. On an inhale, bring the hands up towards the sky. Authentic movement. Exhale, fold forward, surrender, soften the knees, relax. Inhale, halfway up, rounding up. Exhale, plant hands, stepping back, move through chaturanga or cobra. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, peel yourself back. Inhale, sweep right leg up. Exhale, bring it through, warrior one. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, arms back behind you, interlace. Inhale, supercharged warrior. Exhale, surrender down. Inhale, dynamic movement back, side plank, rock star. Exhale, feel the whole movement. Feel the surrounding air of your body. Oh. On your exhale, move. He draws in. Full expression of side plank. This time, arm reaches towards the sky. Feeling the power and the ease in the body at the same time. And release. Come into the ball of the back foot. Push up. Press up. Take the leg back towards the sky. Slowly dive on down. Bam. Into a miraculous, spontaneous cobra. So you can completely ease the nervous system down fast. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Pull through. Warrior one, arms sweep up. Exhale, interlace. Inhale, strength and grace. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep up, twist. Land soft, open, expand through the heart, expand through the consciousness. And release the hand down. Sweep this leg through, full expression of a side plank with the leg passing. Gaze towards the sky with your fingers. Squeezing the shoulder blades down your back. And slowly release. Ball of the back foot, option to push up and back for downward facing dog. And I bring the hands closer together. And slowly, three-limbed, Sahaja, spontaneous cobra. Just let your shoulders move, let your head and neck move. Oh, it feels so good. And then slowly release up your upward facing dog. And exhaling to downward facing dog. Pulsation here. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, send the heels right down. Inhale, lift heels. Exhale, send the heels down. All we're doing is just pulsing through the legs, coiling, low belly, and pressing down. And stepping to the top of our mat, inhaling to halfway up, and exhaling full. Inhaling, rise up, arms reach out big, gather the energy. And exhale down to center. And feeling this completeness and wholeness of fluid, grace, power, strength, and alignment in the body. So good. I'm so proud of you. You did it. You did it. You could just keep on doing it. I know. Bend your knees. Let's sweep the arms back behind us like this, and then let's bring the arms up. Okay, and then we're going to push the arms back down, and then sweep them back up. So from the side, all I'm doing is bending the knees, pushing back, and then inhaling, sweeping up. And you'll see a slight movement in my spine, like a snake or a cat and a cow. And just watch how the subtle body, this is the body that doesn't know anything else except wanting to feel good, and see how it responds to this motion, and then release and drop down. And relax the head and the jaw especially. So I start to get like, I'll start to spit out a lot while I'm talking, because I'm literally changing my nervous system to feel really safe and good. Stepping back into downward facing dog. It's really amazing how we can change our chemistry of our bodies so quickly. Step left foot to center. Sweep right leg to the sky. And slowly bring it on through, and bring the left knee down. Okay, and then we're going to pull the left heel towards the glute with your muscle. Okay, so it's like this. And if your leg just gets to here, that's okay. This is something that we are working towards, is activating the hamstring and the glute to work to bring the back leg towards your glute without going back and grabbing it. I spent years going back to grab it because I never had the strength in my hamstring to actually bring the foot in. Okay, so just working towards that, and if you need to, go ahead and grab it. And then once you're here, I want you to pull it towards you. Get that good stretch in the left quad and the left part of your leg, and even up through the belly. Yeah, and then let the right shoulder go back. And now kick into the leg, ramp it up just a little bit, and kick, and keep squeezing the left butt cheek. So that back part of your body is active. The front part of your body is receiving the stretch. Okay? And just to make sure, I want you to let go of this leg and don't change anything. Yeah, you see? You're like, oh wow. Oh wow, I could really, go somewhere with that. And then release. And then a half split. Let this hamstring just get a little bit of love. That was a lot of that one to me is an aha. That is an aha, to get that power and strength in the back leg to come up like that. So be proud of yourself every inch, every centimeter of the way. And then slowly release and come into a standing pyramid pose. And I slide the leg back in so that I can bring my hands down to the ground. If you need to, you bring blocks. Or you can work on some core cultivation, right? So pulling in through the navel, you can balance, bring your hands here if you need to, and working towards the pelvis being straight, neutral, then bringing the hands down. If this is in your body, you can go further. Go ahead and hinge over the front leg. And as you can see, my ribs and my belly are touching the thigh. So that comes from that drawing in of the energy and all the abdominal work, and then releasing it out. And that is just such a nice pose. It's so good for your thyroid, your immune system, and the nervous system to slow down. Okay, and then just simply coming back, bringing the hands here. You're still in the low lunge. And coming back into one more twisteroo. We're gonna release the left arm across, right, twist, open. Oh, so different than when we did before, yes? So good. Open the arms, variation. Oh yeah, you can do this. Who knew? You can do it. Open the arms, squeeze shoulder blades down your back, and slowly release. Nice job. Step back, downward dog. Inhale. Exhale, mouth. Inhale, let it rise up to your body. Exhale down. Right foot to center. Inhale, sweep left. As you exhale, pull it on through, low lunge. Other side. So it's this little thing here, right? You're gonna pull your heel towards your buttocks. Right. Oh, squeezing. Gazing back. Yep, there it is. And go ahead and grab hold. Yeah, you can see it in me too. It's an effort. And now once I'm here, I'm going to squeeze the right butt cheek so that I'm engaging the back body. So the front body gets a phenomenal stretch. The whole front side, the hip flexor, and my belly. And then I can even sink down here. Don't be afraid to move your hands. You might have really long arms, so I'll move my arms around. And now I'm going to kick and open through the back body. You can see the back bend in the body. You can see the whole front line getting this fabulous stretch. It's one of my favorites. It feels really good once you start to own it. And then slowly, let it go. Own the pose. Own this thing. Pull it in. You're like, wait a minute, I might be able to do it right there. Try it. Oh, there it is. Good. And then slowly release and relax. And go back into a half split. So being patient with yourself in these poses that are compromising, that aren't as comfortable. You know, life isn't comfortable. And we're always not always, but a lot of times put in situations where we have to have a compromise or have to take a different lane than the one that we wanted to do. So I'm trying to give you as many options as you can in your own practice so that you can take it into the formation that is best for you on that day. Okay? And every day is different. There are cycles to everything, and there are seasons and times for things. So take this right arm up, big stretch. This is what all got stretched on that last posture. And then we're going to twist it across. Okay, and all you need to do is, this is arm pressing. You press your elbow into knee, knee into elbow. Make a fist, take the left arm on top. Okay, and then where your eyes go, you go. So I'm going to start to gaze up towards the sky. Now I'm planting down into this back leg. Right foot is planted, right butt cheek is squeezed. Keep squeezing and pressing as the upper spine moves. And then slowly release. Woo! Back into a little half split, starting to prepare for pyramid pose. Yeah, and then I just little wiggle through the hips. You'll start to feel the outsides of the left leg, IT band, hamstring. And here we go. Going towards something like straight leg, something like straight leg. Pelvis is neutral, so don't let it shift off to one side or off to the other side. If you need to bend the knees because back of the Achilles is tight, here's a variation like that. Here's a variation for the front. You can also step closer, and you can also use blocks. All right, so here we go. I'm going to show you now the full expression of the pose with ease. I'm going to inhale and come halfway up, and I'm going to lengthen out through the spine, pulling the left hip back, And as I exhale, I hinge from that point, drop the ribs, drop my heart, drop my nose and my face, and just allow the whole body to surrender into the stretch underneath the left leg and the left hip. Nice. And slowly release. Come down into the right knee, back into a half split. Slowly bring the hands forward, step the left leg back, come into child's pose. Nice big inhale here. Slow exhale out through your mouth. Inhale back up into cat-cow. Exhaling, cross feet and coming back into a seated position. Extend the legs out in front of you. Okay, and just bring the sides of the skin folds to this away from you so you feel the sit bones grounded down. And on an inhale, sweep the arms up. And again, if you have bent knees and you're here, that's totally fine. If not, you're down on the ground. And then exhale, hinge and fold forward again. So all these forward folds are calming the nervous system down, and you're in the conscious part of the body. Whatever you can see, you are aware of. So you're in the conscious. Back body, this is a vulnerable place and you can't see. So I would call it in more alignment with the unconscious. And slowly come back up and coming down onto your back. It's interesting to have as the back body is as it's the unconscious body. We have so many back problems. We have so many things on our back that's going on. Maybe that's something we need to take a look at in our mind, and then how it is being played out in our body. So bringing the heels close towards the fingertips, and on an inhale, just lifting the hips up. And we've done a lot of back bends today inside the practice. So we're not going to go into full wheel unless that's in your practice and today you're just dying for it, then take it. Please take it. Otherwise, we're still cultivating strength through the backs of the hamstrings. So as I lift the hips, I'm actually pushing down into my feet, and as if I'm trying to push my feet away from my sit bones. So I'll feel like this driving action of the tops of the thighs going that way. And then suddenly I feel space in my back and elongation all through the back. Now I've just slightly let go of the buttocks, and now I'm just using the hamstrings, and I'll feel a nice, very subtle low back expansion there. And then slowly releasing down. Oh, that feels so good. Let's step the left foot to center, take the right ankle on top, and just send it some love. Send it some love. This is for the internal, external part of our hip. Hands come down. On an inhale, press up and try to open. Let this right knee drop down towards the ground without totally dropping the hip. You see this? So I'm actually using some strength in this outer hip to open the front part of the inner thighs and the top of my quadricep on the right leg. One more breath here. And slowly release down. Now just simply draw the left knee in towards you. Interlace, so the right arm goes through, left one around, interlace, pull the left thigh towards you. And I use my right elbow to push the right knee away from me. And this left foot is completely relaxed. Right foot is flexed to keep the natural alignment of the right knee. And I'm using my arm strength. You can see the shoulders and pulling them away from me as my biceps come in. Oh, and then I'm going to let the tailbone come up off the ground, pulling in just a little bit deeper. This is a good way to get to this part of our body without sitting or standing. So it's a lot less nerve-wracking. The body will accept this stretch much easier in a lying down position. And then slowly release and coming back to neutral. And going to the other side. So left foot is flexed, takes care of the anatomy of the joint of the left knee. Right? And then we pop up into a variation of a bridge pose, keeping the pelvis neutral, no side, this and that. Okay, and then keep lengthening the top part. This is all opening and stretching. Left knee is trying to draw down. There you go. Big stretch. I feel it right here and here and here and here and here and here. And then slowly release. Okay, and then those little spots, let's just take it one more notch, just a little deeper. Left arm goes through, right reaches around. Relax the right leg, the right toes, and pull with your arms. And just to add a little bit more, push the left knee away from you. And you can feel it even deeper, just a little bit more. Breathing, relaxing around the neck, the head, the shoulders. Slightly peel the tailbone off the ground if that's in your body, going just a little deeper into the low back, the hip attachments. And slowly release. Go back for one more bridge, just to even it out, lifting the hips towards the sky. Just let it feel good. Wiggle the hips around, side to side, side to side, and all the way down. Oh, that is good. Draw right knee into center, left leg stretches out. Take left hand on top of right and twist gently across the body. Gazing towards the right hand, the right palm. And as the palm is lifted open towards the sky, seeing this as a receptive moment. You're on the ground, you're safe. You feel this newness in your body and in your flesh. Big breath in through this lung space, watch it rise. And as you exhale, everything sink down towards the floor. So I'm not pushing and pulling, I'm just letting my body do it. And slowly coming back to center. And changing sides. Right leg goes to straight, get your whole body in alignment again. Left knee comes in, let it cross your body. Gently guide it with the right. Left arm reaches away from you, and then let it see if it can start to draw the shoulder down towards the ground. And I'm not pushing, pulling, I'm just letting my body slowly unwind. And as the left palm is open and receiving, just as the left part of my whole body is open and receiving to fluid grace, fluid life, living a lifestyle that's in the flow with my power, my humility as an alignment of self. And then slowly release back. And last little wiggle or two. Oh, feels so good. Little semicircles on your back. It's good. And then slowly release to a flat back. And if this is uncomfortable for any reason, please place either a pillow, blanket underneath your tailbones, pillow underneath your knees. Just long enough so that you can just receive nothing. Receiving nothing. You can just see as my legs fall apart. Getting the shoulders away from you. A nice technique is you give yourself a big hug and pull the back off the mat, and then let go and let the arms drape open and soften. That feels really good. And then simply stay here and close your eyes. Just breathing. And I'm going to rise so I can speak clearly. Please stay in lying down pose, or you may rise in a seated position for the meditation. Listen to your body. If it needs to stay down and relax, please do that. If seated is comfortable for you, go ahead and come into it and cross leg. Let's bring your hands to heart center. And if you feel like you need more grounding, bring your hands down to the thighs. And slowly taking this breath wave, feeling the widening of the breath through the upper part of the lungs, the middle space, and the lower space with each breath. Feeling the rib heads expanding, and as they're contracting, coming into their natural space and rhythm. And on your next inhale, let the belly go. Let it be full, soft, no force of breath. And as the belly lets go, the hips soften and sink. And they sink down into the earth. And in this sinking and connection with the earth, the legs start to follow. And the legs ooze and ease and become so heavy that you feel as if you were being drawn down towards the center of the earth from your feet, your legs, and your hips, and supported and connected to this centering. And from this place, you feel at ease and at one with this very body, this body. And you feel at one with the earth. And you feel your placement being here. And it's this wave of knowing from the body. The lower half rises with the next inhale back through the heart space. So the heart space is floating, completely held by someone's hands and arms behind you. Feel the back of the neck just dripping back behind you as you lay on the earth. Just staying here in this moment, softening, sweetly surrendering. Widening your expression of who you are. gratitude and self-love. May you root and grow from here. Great practice. Namaste.